me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of your favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Welcome back, everyone. Mike, John, and myself are here with the exciting conclusion of our series on the Beastmaster. Last time out, Beastmaster and his menagerie had met Seth and Tal, who also want to overthrow the evil priest Maax. They've just found out that Maax is planning to sacrifice Kiri, the temple slave. Now let's get back to the action.
So I guess after they figure out that Kiri is being taken for a sacrifice.
Right, she's dressed for sacrifice.
Yeah, she's been taken for sacrifice. They decide to go rescue her. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know how they did this, but they roll up in the ferry. Group, the priest and the slave girls are walking towards a ferry, and
these guys are sort of in cloaks, like they're in disguise.
You see Seth and Tal and Dar like pulling the ferry like in disguise.
Right. So they must have probably took out the guys who really operate
or did something. Ferry. Yeah. Like that poor ferry guy. Like he's just doing his job. Right.
He's an accomplice.
Yeah. One of the priests like pushes Kiri down. Right. And she kicks him in the nuts. Now, I don't know why I thought this, but I was for sure that all those priests are castrated. For no reason.
Interesting.
They never speak.
They never. Grunt. I just was like, these guys are castrated. Like, I was like, no way they have nuts. So I was just weird that she kicked him there.
Kicked him in like the fleshy area where there's nothing.
She kicked him in the upper thigh. But so she kicks him and then he tries to drown her and
setting off a chain reaction.
That's when all the fighting pops off.
Yeah.
The big cat appears out of nowhere because he wasn't on the ferry.
Yeah.
But I assumed they were coming from the other side of the water and how'd the cat get there, but maybe they
just told him to set on the other side or something. Yeah. that part, yeah, that is
Sharak carried the cat across the
If he could pick up that kid, he could pick up that tiger. Can you see that hog carrying that tiger across the water?
They should have shown us that. But
missed opportunity.
And let's be real, probably just whoever's the cat handler wouldn't let them put the cat on the boat.
Yeah, they're all kind of violations.
They were all probably crowded, and they're like, "Now, if the cat's on a little 10 by 10 raft, he might maul you."
There's nothing I can. Is only gonna move.
He might tip the boat over, and then he can't swim.
I can't do nothing for you.
The dye comes off.
All the time, they gotta repaint him.
It's a whole day of production down there.
We had another tiger drown. We had to find another tiger to bring on. But anyway, I'm good with it. But they're trying to take these priests alive, like they got them bound and gagged.
Yeah, I was wondering about
why?
The hostage situation.
What's the point of taking them alive?
What do you think is changing?
We know Maax doesn't value these priests' lives. Mm-hmm. We've seen him have some dudes just kill himself for no reason earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they don't know that. Well, Seth does. Seth knows that.
Yeah, they know damn well.
A lot of that scene, especially the kicking in the nuts and then her voluntarily murdering 3 defenseless guards, is starting to set Kiri up as something more than what she's supposed to seem like, which is a defenseless maiden. But anyway.
Anyway, they get away as like other priests are shooting arrows at him and whatever.
Yeah,
these arrows. This dude was like a marksman with the arrows, though. He kept just bullseyeing on that the masthead or whatever.
But you can't hit the real target.
But he put like 5 arrows in the masthead.
It's totally a stormtrooper shooter. But I thought it was weird that Dar cut the rope because it's like, aren't they just gonna drift away? Like, how are they gonna get to the other side now?
It's not like, and they're all laughing like, we made it. And it's like, I mean, you're not really any farther away than you were before you.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, what if there's a waterfall at the end of this?
You're still within arrow range. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they weren't very far.
That was silly.
You could have thrown a rock and hit those guys.
But they get away, and like Kiri on the boat sort of just offers herself up to Beastmaster.
Oh, she totally holds out.
Isn't he like to Tal, like, send your cousin over?
Yeah, Tal's like, will you help us? And Beastmaster says, why don't you send your cousin over to ask me and we'll find out. It's like, it's super creepy.
And then she's like, will you help us? And he's like, I don't know, I'm kind of busy.
Yeah.
It was funny, but at the same time, then she just dove on him like tongue first.
Yeah.
And they're like full on like fucking going at it in front of Seth and Tall, who's her cousin.
No offense to Mark Singer, sir, if you are listening to this podcast.
I hope you are.
But
he might be.
It was just, your romantic prowess doesn't really come off in this film. I'm sure you did well in other areas, but
I'm just gonna say I think they fucked on that boat. I think right in front of Seth and Tall, yes.
I'm not convinced. Yes. I need some.
Seth was doing earmuffs on Tall.
I don't know, man.
Or letting him watch. I don't know.
They get back on land. They get back on land and Rue is back with them. So I guess Rue was just walking along the riverbank following the boat. I don't know. That bothered me too. And then they decide, hey, let's split up.
Did they?
Well, Seth's like, well, I'll meet you in 2 days. You guys go without me, the best warrior of all of us.
And here I thought that this was going to be the moment where Seth went to do like he said that they were doing earlier.
Come back with
the army. Come back with an army. But no.
He doesn't really.
No, he doesn't do that at all.
There's no reason for them to split up. And if they're going to split up and send somebody off alone, then send Tall off alone.
Why is he a kid?
But if you're going in there to try to bust Zed out...
Kevin's not convinced.
You bring your best fighters.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But what cracks me up is that Eagle, Sherak, comes to recruit the villager whose kid they saved earlier.
This is what you were talking about earlier,
and he's like, why me? Like, motherfucker, you forgot already?
He called himself a coward, too.
He's like, I'm a coward. Yeah. It's like, you're ungrateful as hell, though.
Yeah, they did save your daughter from death.
Yeah, like you forgot real quick. It's been like 3 days.
From a writing perspective, though, do you think that like Coscarelli and Peppermint are in the thick of writing the script, and does that even occur to them?
They're probably just like, why he needs to be a coward. It's a chance to have a laugh.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that cracked me up though, and then I like that he could understand what the Eagle was trying to get him to do.
Yeah, like Chewbacca,
he's like,
and
oh yeah, I'll come over here, I guess, or whatever it was. He's like, let me get the wagon. Then he doesn't know what that Eagle wants.
So I guess right after that, they I think his name was How do you say it?
Sako.
Sako. Yeah, the villager. His name was Sako.
Okay.
He does take the group into the village. And, Tall still has that ring on his finger.
Yeah,
and so
the ring
Maax
sees everything.
Yeah, the ring can see. And so Maax still
he knows they're coming, right?
Maax knows they're coming. He literally can see them coming and does not send all his guards out to attack.
He left no guard, which
lets them walk into the palace.
He probably did that on purpose to lure them in.
Why?
I think.
I just don't understand. It's like, it's the dumbest bad guy. Like, why, if you can literally see the person coming to attack you.
For me, the fact there were no guards should have been a red flag. For the good guys. Like, this doesn't seem right. This seems like a trap.
Yeah, but so I guess I don't know what happens to Seth. Is he off now?
He's off doing God knows what. He's probably chasing some
Dar. So Dar and
taking the rest of the day off.
He's like getting drunk.
So Dar and Tall and Kira all go into the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
And this is another scene that after I saw the movie kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah.
They walk into that pit of, do they name them?
Yes.
Death guards. But to me, they're berserkers. Like they're like a game berserker.
We said they were like Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They're like just the mindless. They only move forward, never retreat.
Yeah.
And they'll kill anything in front.
And I would say they're almost worse than
They were scary.
Yeah.
I'd say they're even more mindless.
They got the sharp, spiked armor on their arms and legs, and like the mask on and glowing eyes. They were super effective.
Yeah, they were really badass.
Stuck with me.
When he walks through the little pit and they stick their arms out and they're clawing at him. I mean, think about the people who have gone through there and didn't make it. They basically got ripped apart by these guys.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So I was like, man, that's really cool. And so he had to jump up and
he's shimmying
crawl across the top. And then Tall and Kira are like, oh, okay, it's safe now.
He closes the gate. Oh, no, you're right.
They weren't going to just walk through, though. He's like, wait a minute.
You're right.
Let me close it first. And then you can come through.
They weren't just like, okay, now we can walk through.
Yeah.
What? You're right. They didn't want to die.
Yeah. And Is this so?
He watches them make one of them.
Yeah,
through like a hole, and they like drop a creepy leech in a person's ear.
Yeah, but isn't this where Kara leaves the group?
Yeah, she disappears for a moment.
Yeah, she goes off on her own. Like she could have like, if you know like how this pyramid works and like all these secret passages and everything.
That's useful information.
Thank you. Like you could have told us that at some other point.
What cracked me up though is so she disappeared into a secret door in the wall, came back out 2 minutes later, looking 99% the same.
Oh yeah, she had like her hair in a bun.
She had her hair up. She had a knife on her belt, and like she had changed dresses. It was I watched it 5 times. It was a different dress, but it was the same color, same length.
So she had time to put on a different.
She
dress.
looked 99% the same. And she came back, and Beastmaster's like jaw hit the ground when she walked out. Like, holy, whoa!
Why does she look like that?
He's like, why does she dress like that? John was saying every line of dialogue he had after that was like, what's up with Kiri?
Like, is
right?
this
Well, the entire movie, anytime anyone asks him, like, what are you doing here? He's like, where's the girl?
He was thirsty. He was like, he had it turned up to 100 when she came back out.
I mean, maybe that B stood for something else.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. But then also in that same he has a conversation with Tall, like, why is she dressed like that? And Tall reveals that she is a member of the ancient Trove sect or whatever that has lived in the pyramid for years.
Yeah, like they used to guard the pyramid.
That for whatever reason, Maax has no knowledge of. No knowledge of their secret.
Well, I mean, maybe he enslaved the women when he took control of the pyramid, but still, like, yeah, he should know his way around that trap door or whatever she went in. Yeah,
he doesn't know where the secret Trove closet is.
Was she really a slave? Like, was she really?
Well, she was allowing herself to be.
Yeah, a slave, exactly. Right? Was she just allowing?
Yeah,
herself
I can see that. They find their way to where Zed's at. And they discover, oh my God, he's been like blinded, like his eyes have been poked out.
Is that what
Gross.
it was? I couldn't tell.
They were just like dark.
There were no eyeballs.
Creepy. And then that's when Maax and one of the witches appear and like slam the door, and they're like, "Ha, we got him trapped." Right?
Yeah. Don't Kodo and Podo.
Oh yeah, he sent Kodo and Podo.
He sends Kodo and Podo down there to get those keys first.
They think they're going to need even get into pop in the cell. There's so many red flags on their rescue mission. They should have known.
It's a
anyway,
disaster.
So they've lost Kodo and Podo
because the berserkers
popped whatever. He's chasing them around the pyramid, and then that's when Rue shows up to save the day. Right? He like comes up behind him, and they're like, "Oh shit, let us get in the cell too."
Maax is looking through the door and says, "They'll be sacrificed at dawn." And then Rue shows up and he says, "Never mind, kill them.
Never mind, let's just kill him now.
Kill him now."
Like again, Maax, why are you trying to wait?
Yeah.
Formal sacrifice, nah.
And sacrifice in front of who? Like, what's the? Just kill him right. Just kill him right now. Bad guy, kill them right now.
So they come in there, and then he sends the witch after Beastmaster to kill it, and she's creepy as hell. And she starts creeping up the wall. She like throws something in his eyes and blinds him, and she's like climbing up on the wall. But little does she know, I guess, that Beastmaster, like, he switches his vision over to see through Rue's eyes, and he can see her there, and he stabs her, and she dies and cackles.
I'm gonna have to find that cackle.
Oh, it's a great one. It's probably just a sound effect they took off of whatever. But then Rue's gonna come at Maax, and Maax just like runs off down a secret passage behind the stairs. Like, so there was a way out of the cell the whole time.
It wasn't even a secret passage.
In Zed's defense, he couldn't see it. So
that's true.
I mean, he could have felt the walls or something.
Yeah, you would have think he'd walk around the room feeling the walls.
You're right. It wasn't like he even like pulled a light switch down or like or pushed in a stone or something like that. He literally just ran behind the steps. Like you would have thought Zed would have stumbled on that at some point.
So the good guys, they fight their way free with a lot of help from the animals.
Yeah, Kodo and Podo run towards the cell, and they bring
the berserker kills a bunch of the priests.
They bring the berserker with them.
They send Tall and Zed down a passage, and then the thing won't close, and I don't know how this thing works, but he busts something in water.
Well, that's the thing, is that they run in the room, and it's the removable skull in the drain or whatever, and Tall intuitively knows how to operate the thing.
He turns there was just a big lever, but
he was Zed's
it was weird.
Dad,
I don't know. And I'm going to say I feel like this whole section is probably going to be cut out.
Well,
it should have been cut out of the movie.
Yes.
We should just say there's a big rescue scene and some shit goes down.
There's a big rescue and they get out of there.
I feel like they were like, we have these animals on set and we need to use them to their maximum.
I mean, it's like, because Tall and Zed go
and
down
I guess the cat
No one knows
cat did not crawl up that other tunnel, so he must have come out.
Sherak took him out.
Sherak carried him away.
And then Dar goes back in. Beastmaster goes back in for the ferrets.
He's like, I can't leave my ferrets.
This continuity-wise is a disaster. It's like, what is everyone doing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but then the ferrets are coming right there, so he's like, okay, cool. He can't get the thing to lift back up, or whatever happens. I don't know. He crawls up another tunnel out.
They crawl up an air
Kiri's
shaft.
there.
Yeah,
she came back.
She didn't leave with the rest. Like he had his back turned, and I guess she didn't go down the stairs.
I thought so. That's what I didn't understand. I thought she did.
We see her go down, but then he does turn his back for like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
so I think she came back.
I think she went down.
She may know another secret way,
and then she came through another secret passage.
That could be too. She knows her way around, which means they could have gone out a different way.
This chick knows so many secret passages and doesn't tell anybody about anything.
It doesn't even matter. Like at this point, they get away. I think the Sherak comes and saves them from the berserker.
Yeah, because it claws the
berserker's face up.
Yeah, then
Eagle Rescue 4.
Okay.
I feel like that really they really had an eagle attack. Like an actor in a mask or something like that. Like that seems
a little dangerous,
like crazy dangerous.
He does manage to like cut the rope they're climbing down, and they luckily fall right into the wagon with the villager guy,
just about the same height as the berserker.
Yeah, but they land in the hay. They land in the hayride or whatever. Yeah. Which I guess had the tiger in the back of the hayride as well. We just never saw him there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. At this point, I guess maybe Seth, he's off been rounding up other supporters. Like they're around a campfire and there's a lot of people.
Right.
And that's when Zed's telling him, like, we're going to go back in and we're going to take the village back. And Dar's like, that won't work. Like, even if you take the village, the Jun army's coming and they're too strong. And Zed just fucking turned on him.
Yeah. I guess they were setting up that Zed doesn't know that Dar's his.
He's blind, so he would not know anyway. But he straight up calls him a coward.
So,
he says you're a freak. I don't need cowards on my team. It's like this dude who doesn't even know you.
Who just saved your life.
He came in with a woman and a young boy against God knows what in the pyramid to save you. Yeah. And you're calling him a coward.
It was weird. Like, it was very strange. Like, to me, it was like Zed has just lost it. Like, Zed's a lunatic.
Right.
Like, he's so mad. I think what it is Zed's so mad. Well, he's crazy, but he's also so upset because he'd been trapped in this jail for God knows how long. Like, we're talking years. I think
that's when he says, like, Maax killed my unborn son and he killed my wife.
Yeah.
Which that made me think it was probably at the same time, like when they took the baby out, maybe it killed the mom.
Yeah. He was like, I want to get revenge right
now. Of like he can't wait. He's like, he's kill crazy.
Yeah, so he's not thinking straight, man.
But that was a sick burn he put on Beastmaster,
Go crawl
man. That
down a hole with your beast.
He just he tore him a new one and like. And Dar's like straight up. He left Beastmaster in tears.
Dar cries. He cries.
He ripped him so bad. He's like,
Conan doesn't cry, man.
King Zed, that was harsh as hell for real, though.
Yeah, man.
Like that, he called him a freak. Like he's probably self-conscious already about his powers.
All the kids used to pick on me.
He's like,
I talk to
you're
animals.
a freak. So you got a blind guy calling you a freak.
But here's the thing, like Dar. It seems like Dar should be more upset because he's getting rebuked by his father.
But he doesn't know.
But he doesn't. I feel like
I think he doesn't know.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I feel like that's the way it should have played out. Like
that he knew that it would be hard.
Like that's why he's like crying because he's like, oh, my dad doesn't want me, or he's not taking me back. But that's not the way it's shown on scene in the movie.
Because he like embarrassed him in front of Kiri.
Probably. He's like, man, I was about to hit that.
That's when Kiri comes up to him and he's like, will you come with me? And she's like, nah, that's cool. She's like, I'm going to stay here, though.
I thought she chased after him.
She did chase after him, and he's like, will you leave with me? And she's like, nah.
Yeah, she chased after him to say, I'm going to stay here and die with Zed.
I just want to let you know I'm dumping you.
She's staying with her family.
Don't wait for me. So Maax, though, he's using the eye ring, right? He overhears the whole plan. Which, honestly, it's interesting to me that the eye ring can also hear. Like, they should have been an ear ring also.
Well, it's the same with the eye creature, the demon in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
he sees and hears
sees everything. Hears all, yeah.
Anyway, that works for me, but, like, Seth gets wise to the whole thing. He sees the eye. That eye effect, I gotta say, is really cool.
Yeah, I don't
know how they did it. It was very cool.
It didn't look...
Some kind of remote or something.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Muppet.
But Zeth, like, pokes the eye out with a stick or whatever, and more cackling from the witch, and like, but blood comes out of the ring. It was like a cool effect.
No, they did a really good job with that.
So Seth is like, yo, we got to abandon this plan. Like, he heard everything. And Zed's like, no.
Yeah, he's going crazy at this point. He's a lunatic.
We're going to do it anyway.
We could just change the plan, sir.
No, you coward.
I mean, in his defense, Maax always knows what's happening, and he doesn't change his plan. So
then off screen, a big battle happens because we got Beastmaster. He's roaming the countryside with his beasts, and that villager turns up again, and he's like, you got to come help us. The attack failed. Everyone got captured. They got, Kiri and Seth and whatever. They're going to sacrifice him in the morning or whatever it is. Right.
I feel like they were
saving money by cutting that battle out.
I was about to say, I feel like they filmed that, and they were like, "Oh, we can't.
We got a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, we can't make this 2 hours and 30 minutes long.
This is not this is not Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, they totally, they filmed that scene. And they just didn't put it in.
They should have filmed it anyway.
Yeah. So Beastmaster, he kind of comes back in and he rescues everybody.
Right. This is where Maax, how many times do you have to get burned to realize you should just kill your enemies while you have them captured?
Yeah.
Like, because he's like, no, we got to save them for sacrifice. Yeah. Which, of course, Beastmaster by himself.
Right.
And with his
unchallenged.
Animals. Yeah,
unchallenged.
Well, because he runs
on a horse?
And yeah.
Oh, yeah, because dude had a horse for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of horses in this movie.
He runs through like the villagers or whatever, and he throws Kodo and Poto onto like this wagon.
And they shurikens.
Yeah.
They
free Tal and Seth. And so now like the three of them basically storm the pyramid. Dar gets up to the top and he's fighting all these.
He's ready to kill Kiri at this moment. Maax is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, he gives up on that plan and he runs over to Zed.
Yeah. Like
why not just kill Kiri and move on?
Why? Because Maax knew that.
He's seen the hand. He knows his
Maax
boy.
knew that Dar was the son of Zed.
And he reveals it to him at this moment.
Yeah, he's like, and then Zed's like, oh shit, that was my son this whole time?
And I think, Zed's like, whoa, and Beastmaster is like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of cruel because he kills him right after that.
Yeah.
It's like he kills him.
Psychological move.
Yeah, kills him after telling him his son was alive the whole time.
It's her cousin too. So it's like
true. He's like, oh man, I just fucked my cousin.
They should have had that shot.
That had him rattled.
Where she was like, wait a minute, that means...
But Dar and Maax fight a little bit. He stabs him in the gut, and he seems like he's maybe dead from a gut stabbing, whatever. Then, but he's not dead, right? He comes up behind him, and he's like, oh, he's about to get him. And that's when a ferret does a thing that a ferret can't do in real life. Like, he springs himself probably 8 feet through the air into his neck.
How do you know that?
I've been around ferrets in my life. I got ferret experience, and they don't jump like that.
You got ferret experience?
Cred.
Yeah, I've handled ferrets.
The ferret jumps out of, what is this, satchel or something like that?
No, they're running up the stairs.
Yeah, he jumps off the stairs.
So he's below him on the stairs and jumps up to like throat level.
So if that ferret was a human, he jumped like a building.
Right, but I think they do have
stories.
some special powers that they, like the Beastmaster and whatever. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I mean, all he did was bite him on the neck.
He bites him in the neck. Well, he sort of panics and falls in the fire.
Yeah, but just from a bite on the neck.
I could see that.
You'll also note that during this part that the Beastmaster's attention is 100% on Kiri. Otherwise, he would have noticed.
He's like, come on back to my hut.
Otherwise, Kodo would still be alive.
Well, so he does notice that Kodo falls in the fire, though.
He's like, Kodo!
Yeah.
Which made me wonder, could he recognize them just visually? He could tell the difference? Or does he have like a connection with each beast that when he died, he could feel it?
It's kind of like if you have twins and you can tell which twin is which. I'm sure it's a lot like that.
I think I would also say probably he can feel his like connection with that one sever.
Yeah, I can see that too.
That's rough.
Yeah, it is rough.
That's a rough.
Yeah, it was almost moment. It was sad like the dog.
It's weird they killed Maax, who's like the main bad guy, but then we see the Juns approaching, like that cloud of dust rising in the distance.
How'd they know?
The Juns to return?
Yeah, how'd they know to come?
They had said definitely earlier in the movie, like the Juns are raiding villages to the north, but they will return soon.
Yeah.
So I think it just happened to be they were
coming back. So it's a coincidence that they just happened to come on that day?
Well, I think they might have still been hours away.
They came that night. Well, yeah,
they arrived like later that day, but it did have them. They had time to decide, like, are we going to stay and fight, or are we going to just run away?
But what I'm saying is, they killed Maax without Maax never having the ability to tell the Juns
to come back,
right. and
I think
revenge me. Basically,
it's just another coincidence in a long movie of coincidences. Isn't all of life just one coincidence?
I guess.
Really.
That's so deep.
Yeah, so I guess the Jun they give us so they can see them off in the distance and they're coming.
And Dar's like, we're gonna stand and fight.
They have basically all day to come up.
We'll make this last stand. Yeah, they got Seth, who's like a military strategist. He's like helping them. They cover up the moat. This like tar.
Was that moat already tar? Or did it fill with tar?
It's been like some sort of tar from the get-go.
When Beastmaster first pulls up into Arak, he kind of looks over the bridge, and
that's when the villagers like, we can't leave because we're trapped in by this moat.
There's one way out, and the city's surrounded by tar.
Gotcha.
Which is
the Juns have been to this village before, so they know there's a moat there.
Hey man,
whether it's covered or not, they should know there's a moat there.
Yeah.
They ride right into it.
Yeah, they do. Maybe they just couldn't tell the distance.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, oh, maybe
it was dark.
It was dark. Yeah. We'll give them that too. Sure.
They don't have eagle vision.
Fuck it. I don't think they gave that much of a crap anymore as filmmakers. They're like, let's just finish.
Yeah.
They're probably like, oh, we just got wind. This Conan movie's coming out. It's going to blow us out of the water anyway.
That's kind of how I feel about this film. So Dar gives the eagle his amulet. And he flies off.
Yeah. So I feel like the eagle just took it on its own.
I thought he tossed it to him.
Did he throw it to him?
So he knew what he was doing with it?
I think he tosses it to him. And so that amulet, you didn't even think anything of it when he got it from the bird people initially. So it comes in really, like, it's a huge plot point at the end.
Big time. So the Juns attack, and they're like riding through the tar, basically, because they can do that. And there's a dude who's supposed to set the tar on fire, but he gets shot with an arrow or killed.
A couple guys get shot.
And now it's like, shit. That's when Tall mans up, and he runs through the gate and grabs the torch. And he even gets shot with an arrow, right?
Yeah, he does, yeah. So nobody up on that bridge had a flaming arrow. They should have had a flaming arrow.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's just...
You're right. 100%.
So this little boy runs out there. So we got to
send the boy out.
Yeah, he volunteers, basically.
Who's like their king now, as far as they know.
That's why he's worthy of being a king, though. I give him that.
So he lights one of the dudes on fire, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually a badass scene.
When Beastmaster comes out?
Because Tall gets hit with an arrow, and then I think Kiri comes out
because I think she was trying to help Tall.
Yeah, and then she likes to do it on fire.
That's when the gate gets dropped. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I think at this point, it's just Tall, Kiri, and Seth outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Beastmaster hops over the gate.
And so he kicks that flaming dude into the tar.
And then just drop kicks that.
Yeah.
Badass.
It is a badass scene.
It was nice. The pyro goes up.
Yeah, the giant, and like, you look at it, all this stuff was practical, right?
Of course.
It was this giant explosion. There were like a couple of actors like right there.
Yeah, there was like flaming debris falling down around them.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the real actors.
They were probably soaked in water or whatever they do to sort of make you flame retardant.
They had to feel that heat though. Like they had to have felt that heat because that explosion like right in front of them.
That was a nice moment. I found myself wondering, like, so then you got that probably took out half the Juns maybe.
Yeah, a good portion of them,
which evens the odds up a little bit. So you got the three of them really, because Tall's out of commission after being shot. They're doing pretty well.
No, they're holding it down.
They're doing pretty well fighting the Juns, who are still coming through the fire to get them. But no villagers are coming out to help.
No, it's just like four of them.
And it's like maybe they're trapped in by the gate. I don't know what the plan was in the first place. Was maybe to light the moat on fire and then have a siege, like we'll all be behind the gate?
That's what I kind of inferred from it, but then when both of the torchbearers plus the little old man who was controlling the boat all got shot serendipitously at the same moment, that their plan kind of got screwed.
Yeah, so they sort of they were improvising, but the villagers are like, we're cool back here behind the gate. We're going to let you guys duke it out. They should have come to help.
If the villagers had come out, it would have.
They would have been. They could have won.
It's like,
easily.
Remember in Two Towers, if you remember that movie, when it's Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. So it's a situation a lot like this one.
Well,
where you send 3 guys out to hold shit down.
Let's be real. It's a situation of we don't want to pay another 24 stuntmen.
No,
totally.
Yeah. Why would we do that when we could just do it cheaper?
We also need to give props to John Alcott's cinematography in this scene because this is one of the better looking scenes in the whole movie.
You got the flame, firelight and all.
No,
that.
it's definitely a cool scene.
Nice.
This is a movie that if you got like a Saturday afternoon
and a 6-pack
and you got nothing else to do
and you're 12,
we totally advocate underage drinking on this podcast.
As long as you're at home.
But the Johns get them surrounded and it's like game over. Mm-hmm. And that's when the big baddie from earlier comes in with the wings on his helmet and he's like, let me fight Beastmaster by myself.
Those were deer antlers.
Oh,
I think they're like
bat wings.
They're like bat wings, like leathery. Sort of.
Right, because then he knocks one of them off, right?
He does. He like cuts one off.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have the big one-on-one battle, which is pretty epic. Right?
Yeah, Big Bad's got his mace that he can also swing with retractable blades.
Oh, it's got blades. I mean, this is like I remember that weapon well. When I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially cool when you're like a 12-year-old. They go mano a mano for a little bit, and then he gets that big, like one of the blades stuck in his back some kind of way.
Yeah, Dar pushes him down by accident.
Yeah.
On his own weapon.
His classic bad guy gets sword or weapon stuck into tree or bridge, and then good guy kicks them into their own weapon.
Like a true badass, though, he keeps fighting.
Oh yeah,
like he came at him with the thing sticking out of his back, and then Dar like kicked him or threw him, slung him into the fire.
Are the Jun? Are they human? They're human.
I think so. They're just like warriors.
And there are 20 of them standing around
watching it happen.
Not killing tall Seth or Kiri.
Right. At that point, they could have at least taken out the others.
We're just all looking at this epic battle between these two.
So all for naught. Like he kills the big baddie, and then they're back where they were before, surrounded by 20 guys.
What does he do? Throw him into the fire?
Yeah, he like throws him into the, which is a rough way to go.
He
like slings him in. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And they're surrounded again.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. Back to stage 1.
And that's when our monster people show up, whatever they are.
Eagle save number 5.
Yeah.
So
can you do your eagle noise again?
They had that sound effect throughout, and every time it comes on, it makes me smile.
I will look forward just for you, Kevin.
It's on like the list. There's like list of overused sound effects, like the Wilhelm scream, and all this, and the eagle cry is like up there.
Okay. So these bird people, they can fly. Are they in agreement with this? They can fly, right?
How'd they get there so fast?
How'd they get there that fast? They didn't walk.
They have wings. Like
they don't seem like they walk fast.
No,
ever.
They walk.
I think they fly. And there's even a moment they turn a bunch of dudes to goo.
Yeah.
And then like Beastmaster and one of them has a moment where they're looking at each other like respect. And then the point of view like raises up into the sky, which I take it was one of them flying away.
But they didn't fly away like flapping wings fly away. They kind of just hovered away.
We never see one fly.
No,
they couldn't afford that.
But what I'm saying is that like they could have at least like even if you're just gonna raise them up on like a dolly or crane or something, like have them flap their wings.
Give me
man.
something.
Yeah, like
you made a little
there.
Like you made that toddler fly with the eagle. You could have made
that was their whole like budget. You
could have had a dummy of one of these things fly off.
Yeah,
you're right. They were probably broke at this point.
They're just trying to finish in any way possible.
That's when, though, they get me. They're like, Seth's like, raise the gate. And then the villagers just raise the gate up like it's nothing. See, I thought maybe the gate's broken and they're trapped inside. They can't come and help. Nah, they could have helped anytime.
There were no, like, I can understand the villagers not fighting. There had to be like, some kind of security.
Any guards, anything?
Where these guys all were like cheering when they said, let's stand and fight. And they're like, no, we're cheering because you 3 are going to fight. We're going to be back here in the back.
Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Maybe they were ordered. They were reinforcements.
Yeah.
But then, so it's like post-battle, Seth is talking to Beastmaster. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh yeah, Tall's going to be all right, but you're the rightful king because you're the firstborn son.
Well, he finds out because he looks at his hand. He grabs his hand and he looks at his hand. And he's like, wait a minute, that's the symbol of
the pyramid or whatever.
Yeah. So you are the rightful king. And Dar's like,
I don't want that.
Yeah, that's not for me. You've been raising Tall to be like this king and it should be rightfully
you and Tall should be the ones running the show here, which is like, that's pretty humble and modest, whatever.
So are they?
He's like on to the next adventure probably in their mind when they're making the movie.
Yeah.
He's the king of that village, or is he the king of like all they can see?
It's going to be a pretty big swath of land, I think.
Because if he's just the king of that village, it seems kind of small.
The village is small. I think it's got to be a larger surrounding area.
I kind of figure Arak is the capital city of the land of probably still named Arak.
I will say I realized this as I was watching it. So this is if we think Beastmaster's 25, which Mark Singer was really in his 30s.
34.
But
looked like he was in his 50s.
But I think, let's say he's 25. I can't give him like teenager status. John Amos, Seth, looks exactly the same as he looked in scene 1, which was before Beastmaster was even born. Like this dude, they didn't old age him up at all. He looks good.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he'd be like a different race of man that doesn't age the same as other people. Like, is it that kind of movie?
I think once you hit like a certain age, like you change a lot from kid to man.
They aged up Zed a ton from the beginning to the end. Yeah, and then even
Zed definitely,
and even YDF, even Zed and Dar's father, they aged him up a lot.
They just grayed his hair out. Yeah,
but they didn't do anything with Amos.
They didn't really do anything with Maax.
He was a fit dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maax looked the same as well. You're right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He did. Well, so we don't know what he had underneath that head.
Chainmail. He had a full head of hair.
He could have a full head of hair.
In the first scene, he was wearing. Maybe he was completely bald, and then he spent the next 2 decades growing out that top knot.
He did have a long ponytail kind of thing.
How do you do that? Because John Amos was no way he grew that, right?
They glued it on his head. Is
that what it glued?
They must have.
Yeah,
there's no other way you can attach it.
Spirit gum, my friends.
Yeah. I don't know enough about acting to.
But so he's going to leave like the loner hero guy that he is, right? And then Kiri chases him down, and they make out on top of a rock.
Yeah,
that's kind of it, right?
Well, and don't we? And then we see.
Is she going to come with him? Do you think?
She wants to.
No, I think she does. I think they go off together.
He's not, after all the thirst he's shown this whole movie, he's not going to be like, nah, I'm good. You stay with the village. I don't need yours. I don't need your companionship.
We also see, I guess Poto's the ferret that's still alive, right? So we see that Poto and Kodo got busy.
I know. They they were probably like fucking in that sack.
I think in the commentary, Coscarelli talks about how the 2 ferrets that they used primarily were both male.
Of course.
Oh
yeah.
So they adopted those kids.
And that is that moment when like the tiger Rue comes up and straight like gives them a little butterfly kiss. Like they touch their noses together.
I was like, no,
that violates the food chain.
I was like, no way that tiger didn't bite one of those ferrets.
I mean, that tiger was well trained because it should be every instinct to tell him to eat this thing.
Absolutely. Like I can't. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that's Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's Beastmaster for
it.
It is. It's a like I said, if you have a Saturday. And it's on YouTube for free.
It's on YouTube for free until they take it down.
You have no excuse.
Check it out.
You have to watch this film.
You got to.
You won't be sorry for long.
All right. Well, Mike and I will return soon with something else. Don't know what yet.
Yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be on it.
We want to thank our friend John.
Yeah, big ups. Do you got anything you want to plug? Like, do you have a Twitter account you're trying to blow up or any other projects?
No, not yet. I'll let you know. But thanks for having me, you guys.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Do we have to wait till next year to get you back on?
No, man. I'll be back sooner.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back.
Absolutely. Thanks.